Crime has been making headlines lately. Violent offenses are on the rise nationwide. In this video, we'll explore the top 10 states with the highest violent crime rates in the US. Some of these states might surprise you, so make sure to watch the video till the end. As per the latest data, the United States saw over 800,000 reported violent crimes last year. That's over 380 cases per 100,000 people. In contrast, the state of Maine has the lowest crime in the country, at just 103 in the same category. But in certain states, rates are significantly above the national average. So does that mean some states are inherently more dangerous? Disclaimer. This video isn't to shame any state or label them bad. Crime is complex, and these rankings simply reflect the latest 2022 FBI crime report. My goal here is to have a thoughtful discussion about what's behind these statistics, not to pass judgment. With that said, let's get started. 10. Michigan. Kicking off at number 10 in Michigan. The Great Lakes state reported around 460 violent crimes for every 100,000 residents. That's over 40,000 violent offenses in this state of over 10 million people. Yes, there's been a progressive drop in crime, but cities like Detroit, Muskegon Heights, and Kalamazoo are still painting crime states red. Experts suggest economic struggles play a major role. The decline of auto manufacturing decades back hit Michigan hard. A high percentage of people live on welfare, which is not enough to meet daily needs. Today, the state grapples with unemployment and poverty, known drivers of crime. Lack of access to quality education and skills training also come into play. Additionally, the heroin and opioid epidemic has ravaged communities here. On a brighter note, violent crime has dropped nearly 50% from its peak in the 90s as officials continue targeted efforts. If you are enjoying the video so far, then please consider hitting that like button. It helps a lot. 9. South Carolina. South Carolina comes in at number 9 for the highest violent crime in the country, with a rate of almost 490 violent incidents every 100,000 people. Despite a 10-year decline, the shadows of gangs, drugs, and easy access to firearms are looming large. The Palmetto state of 5.2 million residents reported over 20,000 offenses in 2022, as per the data. The police point to illegal guns, gang violence, and the drug crisis as fueling crimes statewide. Community advocates, however, argue that more must be done to address economic inequality. South Carolina sees higher poverty rates and greater unemployment compared to other states. They also rank low for education. Some argue that substance abuse is a major factor, while others believe that the state needs to provide more high-paying jobs. 8. Missouri. Now number 8 brings us to the Midwestern state of Missouri. The state of over 6.1 million residents reported over 24,000 violent incidents in 2022 alone. Although the state has seen a drop in overall crimes since 2020, its current rate is 488 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Many factors have been linked to the violent condition of this state. High poverty rates here lead to daily struggles that can turn people to crime out of desperation. Disparities in wealth, easy access to firearms, and even lead contamination add spice to Missouri's crime mix. Missouri has 3 times the rate of gun deaths compared to neighboring states with stricter firearm laws. Understaffed police departments have difficulty keeping up with demand, allowing more offenses to go unsolved. However, the state has made some recent strides. Overall homicides decreased 5% last year, providing hope. 7. Colorado. In our number 7 spot is Colorado, with over 492 violent crime victims in every 100,000 people in recent years. After being among the nation's safest states historically, the Centennial State has seen violence rise sharply. Experts suggest various factors are at play. The pandemic's mental health impact and pressures possibly fueled more aggression. At the same time, Colorado implemented criminal justice reforms aimed at reducing incarceration through probation and parole. However, some claim these changes inadvertently increased crime by failing to rehabilitate offenders. Others argue more must still be done to address root causes like poverty, inequality, and addiction statewide. With bipartisan support, Colorado recently passed measures to increase police funding and tighten sentencing laws. But long-term solutions require tackling complex social challenges as well. Number 6. California. Now the golden state of crime comes in at number 6. California, with a behemoth population of 39 million, reported a whopping 62,000 violent cases across the state in 2022. That's over 500 incidents per 100,000 people. Many experts attribute California's increased crime to greater income inequality. While home to thriving tech hubs, the state also has a disproportionate homeless population and deep poverty pockets. Crowded populations and urban density facilitate crime as well. Recently, California has pursued criminal justice reforms focused on rehabilitation and reducing mass incarceration. But police unions warn these policies have inadvertently fueled crime by failing to fully hold offenders accountable. State leaders emphasize that mass imprisonment is not the answer. Still, rising public concern has led officials to re-examine recent changes. Halfway through our list, at number 5, is Tennessee. The volunteer state may be known for its high-quality whiskey and stunning landscapes, but lately, it's also making a name for its high crime rate. Home to more than 7 million people, Tennessee saw a violent crime rate of over 621 incidents. That's a statistical drop from the past 2 years, but poverty and inequality are throwing punches. Community leaders identify factors like poverty, inequality, prolific gang activity, and easy firearm access contributing to more than 32,000 offenses annually. More than 50% of the adult population owns some kind of firearm in Tennessee. Gangs are doing their thing in cities like Memphis and Nashville, making Tennessee a bit tricky to navigate. Outreach programs aimed at providing youth alternatives to gang recruitment have seen success in cities like Nashville and Memphis. But some say more holistic efforts are needed to lift families out of poverty through quality education, vocational opportunities, and community development. 4. Louisiana. The jazz music and Cajun cuisine state makes it to 4th place in our list of the 10 most dangerous states in the U.S. Louisiana reported more than 630 violent crimes in every 100,000 residents in 2022. The state is also known to be one of the top states for firearm violence in the country. An estimated 53% of adults in the Bayou State have guns at home. Not to mention, Louisiana is one of the poorest states in the nation. The research argues persistent poverty and unemployment fueling these offenses, along with low educational attainment and the presence of organized crime groups. Louisiana's incarceration rate is the highest nationwide, suggesting that overly harsh sentencing contributes to a revolving door rather than rehabilitation. 3. Arkansas. We are now down to the top 3 states with the most violent crime activity in the country. Get ready for Arkansas. The natural state witnessed around 645 violent crimes every 100,000 people, as per most recent FBI stats. It's slightly down from last year, but poverty, strained relations with police, geographical challenges, and the absence of background checks on private firearm purchases are painting a vivid crime canvas. Around 57.2% of Arkansans say they have firearms in their homes. The state is pursuing measures like Project Safe Neighborhoods, which partners local law enforcement with federal agents to target gun crime through prevention and vigorous prosecution. Officials emphasize efforts must coincide with expanding economic opportunities, healthcare access, and education to achieve lasting progress. Can you guess what state comes next at number 2 on our list? It's the largest U.S. state by sheer size. It's Alaska, sitting at number 2. The last frontier contends with 758 violent crimes per 100,000 residents. It's the emptiest state in the U.S. Domestic violence and assaults related to alcohol abuse remain pressing issues, especially in remote villages without local police. Factors such as long distances from law enforcement agencies and the vast, isolated nature of Alaska's landscape contribute to challenges in law enforcement reach. This geographical isolation may affect crime rates, making it difficult to maintain law and order effectively. The icy giant also has one of the highest firearm possession rates in the country. In a state of more than 700,000 people, 64% of adults share their homes with at least one firearm. Native community advocates say historical trauma and cultural disconnection contribute to violence as well. And finally, at number 1, New Mexico faces approximately 780 annual violent crimes for every 100,000 residents. The state reported more than 13,000 violent incidents in 2022 alone. That is a lot, considering that New Mexico is home to only 2 million residents. There are a lot of potential contributors that make it the most dangerous state in the country when it comes to the violent crime rate. It's a small state with high poverty. Factors such as poverty, poor educational system, and growing gang problems are known to be the top reasons for high violence. According to recent reports, New Mexico has seen a dramatic rise in gang activity over the past decade. A high percentage of crime is in the largest city, Albuquerque. Other contributors that go unnoticed are mental health issues and drug addiction, which can also roll into petty crime. Then, police understaffing has also strained law enforcement's ability to respond, further hampering crime control. New Mexico is working to rebuild trust through community-oriented policing focused on relationship building, not just responding to 911 calls. But lasting progress requires tackling root causes too. And that's it for this video on the top 10 most dangerous U.S. states. And again, the aim here is to not shame any state or label them bad. Crime is complex, and these rankings simply reflect the latest FBI Crime Report 2022 data. My goal here is to have a thoughtful discussion about what's behind these statistics, not to pass judgment. Leave a comment below to share your thoughts, and for now, check out this next video.